Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, live the life we love. It's Wednesday, and I said in the new year, I'm going to challenge myself to do some different things, and we begin with a joke. I'm mostly going to do jokes, what I would call from the Jewish tradition, so if I make fun of my own culture, my own ethnic background, yeah, I'm of that background, so who's going to get politically incorrect on all over me, right? I probably won't tell certain jokes um, online. We don't want to offend certain people, but the ones that I feel are safe enough, I'm going to share with you. This guy walks into a pet shop. He decides he wants to buy a parrot. So he looks over this beautiful parrot that looks like it's from the South American Amazon jungle. He says, "How much for this parrot?" Guy says, $3,000. $3,000? No parrot is worth $3,000. He says, "No, you don't understand. This parrot can recite the whole Hebrew Bible, the 5 books of Moses, right? The Chumash, the Pentateuch, in Hebrew and Aramaic. Wow, that's incredible. But what about this parrot? Also looks really, really beautiful, also from Indonesia, right? Yeah, $10,000. 10,000? Come on, no parrot is worth 10,000. You don't understand. This parrot has memorized the whole Babylonian Talmud, Mishnah, and Gemara, and can recite it verbatim. That's unreal. But wait a second, there's this one other parrot over here. How much for that? $20,000. Oh, come on. No parrot is worth $20,000. What does this one do? Nobody knows, but the other two call him rabbi. Can I have a rim shot for that? All right, so I'm continuing to also share the teachings I've gotten from the Native American shamans who have been influential in my life. And they're not the only system or medicine people who talk about how to honor humility. So the first thing is humility means for me making necessary amends. If I mess up in any way, I immediately cop to it, apologize, and try to see what act of service can I do to reconnect to the person. And that's the way I serve others. Everything that I've learned in some way is there to serve others. And even though I'm known as the Gabby Guru, I love to talk, but I also give listening as a gift freely. Anybody calls me, anybody wants to speak to me, I'm just a listening wall, listening rabbi. And if you want feedback, I'll give it to you, but I can just listen and be quiet if you need to. And that means I'm also unpretentious as a learner. There's so much I still don't know. I want to maintain my curiosity. I ask for help at any time. I have no problem asking for help. And I also ask all the elders and the ascended masters to bless any quest that I'm on. And that's the way I keep integrity with what I call my flying boy and my ancient of days, the youthful part of me and the part of me that has some wisdom connected to tradition and what's been bequeathed to us from the ancestors. So one way that I've learned to do that and maintain humility is I shovel through the ashes of my life, the broken dreams, and no longer try to have revisionist history and maintain or struggle against the idea that maybe there was deprivation in my childhood. I no longer have to just be cheery all the time. And I didn't come from an abusive family, but every child gets buffeted. This is a rugged process, and nobody gets through this without getting scarred in some way. So the first thing I've learned to do is not to carry other people's pain. I have my own burdens to carry. And although there's been shaming that I've had to accept and then reject because it's put upon you, and then you have to shake it off. When you want something bad enough, you can't be shamed away from it. So I accepted the fact that no matter what people said about me being a hippie or being into yoga before people made it so popular, and I realized so many people walk around feeling inwardly poor, and yet they have so much golden qualities inside themselves. So what I learned to do is, number one, I gave myself permission to cry and grieve over the losses in my life and understood the difference between active grieving and passive depression. And then I built my walled garden where my lover exists. That's the place where I put boundaries up to protect that which is tender and to hide my gold from people who might shame me. And from the ashes, flowers grew. in that protective garden. And that's where I learned what's called the appreciative consciousness, that the inner lover in me, remember the PREC in the middle of appreciate means to make it precious. I learned to look with eyes on the world and see what's precious in all creation. And from there, I got the insight that my inner magician or the medial woman would get. So I became a holder of the inner world and the importance of keeping spirituality, the romance with my imagination going. And from that, my warrior got empowered to serve a cause that's worthy to be loyal to, a cause greater than my own. And if there's any power to be pursued, it's to be used on behalf of people, not to be used over people. And then when I align all those, my lover, my wise man, my actor, my warrior, then my inner king, the arbiter, the ruler, the decider, the chooser, the one that has an inclusive vision for the realm, I can use my whole life to bless and liberate. Go Dow and do likewise.